John Frenzy with me, football near and dear to both of our hearts. The poll question today is for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Do you think the CFL will play in 2021? Now, some people in the league might be upset that we're even asking that question, but hang on. 47% of you say yes, they think they will. 33% say no, and 20% are undecided. That's pretty darn split. Like, split pretty evenly. And I see on Facebook that the leader is yes, they will, 57% on Facebook. Andrew Harris coming out yesterday and saying in a Winnipeg newspaper that he can't see them playing next year. And I know where he's coming from, and DuPont and I got in a bit of a face-off. Maybe that could have been the face-off. Maybe we'll do it next hour for Ultimate Fan Zone. Yeah, Mad Greek. We'll wait till for DuPont to come back in and we'll do it again. But he's saying, hey, you can play to 50% capacity. They're doing it in the WHL. They're doing it in these other places. So the CFL can do it. Well, the CFL people that I'm talking to are saying, if that was the case, why didn't we do it this year?
A lot of people.
And incidentally, the WHL hasn't done it yet either.
No.
So I think it's an incredibly fair question to ask if this league plays next year. So that's my monologue. Lynch, what's yours? Well, how would you vote on that poll and why?
Yeah, I think we'll be playing next year. I'm getting it all the time. You should take account how many people you talk to during the week. I have 7 this week so far. But I'm really concerned about it. There's a lot of concern out there. Diehard fans you know. It's say how much it means to their life and their marriage and everything else. I didn't know it meant mention the marriage, by the way. But anyway, that's interesting. Yes, people want it. I think there's enough going on out there. My heart wants it. Talking to players, they want it. I think it's a critical thing, most critical. If we don't have it this year and we try to stall it for another year to the year when we're going to have the Grey Cup here next year, 22, we can't go ahead. It just won't go ahead. You just can't go that. You just can't let it go that far for 2 years. I think there's enough genuine interest out there and concern that the league will be there and we'll play football in some kind of shape. And it might be a 7-team league with only 12 games, that type of thing. We've got to be prepared to change what we have what we're used to make it successful, to keep it going. And that's the thing that fans have to realize. It quite probably will be a smaller league with lesser games. And it's football. What can you say? It's football. We've had a pretty great league here. It's been fantastic. The CFL, you got to admit, fans out there, has been outstanding. Fantastic football. Very, very exciting. And I love it. You guys all love it out there. All you fans love it. Pretty hard to take what's going on now. Couple that with the pandemic that's out there, it's a bad time. But Rod, a lot of it's hope. But I just think there's too many good guys in this town to let it fall apart, isn't there?
We're, I guess, going to find out, but I think about that longtime CFL coach that told me last summer, at the beginning of the summer, he said, we're going to find out how much this country loves the CFL. This was last summer. We found out, all right. We got a no from the government, and the league couldn't get onto the field. And I don't know how much money's been raised by various fundraisers either. So it's damn scary. Hang on, by the way. I like this. Prairie Mobile text line is open at 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer from the 403. He says, as far as the Edmonton Eskimos football team name change, I'm at the point of not giving a crap. Which, by the way, is worse. That's the one thing where I and CFL leaders differ. I think they would prefer not to be talked about at all. And I think that's 10 times worse for you guys and girls. But they don't agree. And we will never agree on that. From the 780, it's estimated that the name change will cost the Edmonton Football Club $1 million to complete, says Global News Edmonton. Then they must feel really strongly about it, wouldn't you say, that they really want to change the name?
I can't believe they would. And it's been there since 1949. And nobody's complained until 2 years ago. And the pressure was so much that they felt they had to cave into it. So we'll see what they get up with. But I don't think it's going to be Elk. Probably Empire.
We'll see.
I'm betting on Empire.
I hope it's Empire. I mean, it's the whole business of being offended. So British colonialism, so we're not going to name them the Empire. I've been a fan of the CFL since I was a little kid. I know that the nickname's been the Evil Empire forever. And I just thought Star Wars. So, because it means one thing to you and something else to something else, because this person's offended, we can't have it. Stop being offended.
Now, Ottawa's had 3 changes, eh?
Ottawa. Well, that's for different reasons.
Renegades.
I don't think anybody was. What they were offended by in Ottawa was how they ran the football team.
Yeah.
That's why they kept changing the name. Jason White writes in and says, come on, people, let's support RMF and the Rams 50-50. These are 2 top-notch programs. They need our support. You're right, Whiter.
Right on there.
And by the way, we will be running a CFL Sim 50-50 for reals. We'll have a Grey Cup Sim, and we'll be broadcasting it on this Facebook Live channel, and we'll be running the Rams 50-50 during that game. We're excited about that. John in Edmonton says, cancel culture, Rod. I understand how it works. Mandy in Edmonton goes on to say, sponsors. I'm glad you brought that up, Mandy, and we do have to break here. Don't we, Clark? Yeah, we do. But just with the sponsors, I was just thinking the other day about that little rant that I went on about how you can't run your team based on the sponsors. You can't allow the sponsors to dictate how you do business as a team. And while it's subsided somewhat, that was about 2 months ago, I look back and I see the sponsors won in the case of the Edmonton Football Club.
Yeah.
I'm digging my heels in and doubling down and saying even more so you can't be dictated by your sponsors. Because guess what? Sponsors come and go. And if the Edmonton football team had a backbone, they would be standing up to the sponsors and saying, okay, you know what, Eskimos? Because there's a lot of people that do feel that that's offensive. So, yes, got nothing to do with sponsors. It's our own thinking. But if you're offended by the Empire, you're offended by this or that, then say, okay, Bel Air Direct and Boston Pizza, you name the damn team.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. That could happen. They make it once. If they make that change to the Empire, 3 more years from now, somebody else will want to name to what they've got. It's setting a precedent. Scary. I don't like it.
Now we're getting all into people are getting upset, which is actually a good thing. Maybe we'll continue this, but what I know is we do have to take a break. So we'll be right back. It's the RP Show, Facebook Live, Game Plus TV, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of the Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.